which is the final day for this month. And I actually believe that yesterday's class was insightful and today will be more insightful. So before we proceed, I want to know how many of us can who can remind us a few things that we learned yesterday. I mean, whatever it is that you learned, I know we learned a lot, but who want to volunteer to remind us in the next 4 minutes? Who want to remind us what we learned yesterday? Yes, anyone. I can call names if I don't get a volunteer.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hi, good evening.
So yesterday I learned about cybersecurity. You introduced us into cybersecurity. But basically, I enjoyed the practical yesterday. You showed us how to create links for, I think, phishing attacks. Yes, for phishing attacks. So I was really interested in that, and I understood how you carried out that particular practical. So basically, that's what I learned yesterday. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That was very great. Let's have one more person. Let's have one more person. Yes, whatever it is that you learned in class yesterday. You feel free to talk. I mean, it's a class. Nobody's going to castigate you, even if you get it wrong. I'm going to call names. Let's see. I can see a name here, Busola. Busola, were you in class yesterday? Can you respond, please? Hi, Busola, can you hear me?
Hello. Good evening. What is going on?
All right.
The facilitator is not here yet because.
Mr. Arinze, can you hear me? Hello? I feel like Mr. Arinze cannot hear us, so I don't know what is happening. Busola. Okay, yes, we have Mr. Charles. I remember you were in class yesterday. We have Mrs. Janet. You're also in class. So, Mrs. Janet, please, can you unmute your mic? Hi, Mrs. Janet, can you hear me? Hello, Mrs. Janet, can you hear me? Okay. I feel like we're having a whole lot of technical issues tonight because only few people can hear me.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay. I've been shouting for the past like 8 minutes until I got the feedback from the admin that I was audible. It seems there was a technical glitch. All right.
You were calling people's names, so I felt that was why we should not respond.
Okay, so Mr. Charles, do you want to help us?
Yes.
I was asking a question. What did you learn yesterday?
Okay, so basically, the major part is about protecting your online presence and basically not succumbing to phishing.
Okay, that's a great one. That's a great one. All right, so like I promised us yesterday that today's class is going to be focusing on 3 major things. Number 1, how to identify the phishing email. Number 2, best password policies, how to set a good password, and also differentiating between a good password, a strong password, and a weak one. Then thirdly, we are going to look at the career path in cyber security. Then lastly, as an addition, we are going to look at how to stay safe online as individuals. What are things to do to stay safe online as individuals? All right, so I'll be sharing my screen now as we dive into today's course. And if time permits, I'll be showing us a particular practical as well on how password is being cracked. how password is cracked. It's just an example for to see how it works, so that we can see the way attackers they work, and that will help us to be able to stay safe and secure our passwords very well. All right, so let me share my screen. Okay. All right, so please kindly confirm when you can see my screen.
I can see your screen, sir.
Yes, you can see
Thank
it.
you. Thank you
Your
very
screen.
much. Thank you very much. All right. So tonight we are going to be starting with how to identify a phishing email. I'm going to be giving us about 5, 6, or 7 key things to look out for when we are considering a phishing email. And if time permits, I'm going to give you an example. I'll display an example so that you can see all these red flags on that particular email. I'll give you an example so that you can see these red flags on that particular email. All right. So how to identify a phishing, like I explained yesterday, that phishing is a pretense masquerading to be a legitimate person, masquerading to be a legitimate person in order for users to reveal sensitive information. Uh, in order for users to reveal sensitive information. So the number one thing you are going to look out for when you receive an email that is going to be a phishing email or that should be suspected, the first thing to look out for is unusual sender address. Unusual sender address. Now, what does that mean? Now, unusual sender address has to do with receiving emails from a sender that you are not familiar with. Of course, there are many senders. There are many people that can send you emails. That you are not familiar with. But one thing about a phishing email is that the sender address will be something you have most likely not seen before, or you have never received a message from. So, as an example, they are sending a message to you that okay, you need to update your maybe your BVN from your bank, and then the sender address looks like xyz@gmail.com. Now, XYZ, in fact, at gmail.com may still be trusted a bit. You know, when you receive emails from sites like, okay, let's say account dot customer care at xyz.com. Now, XYZ, so let me quickly explain the difference between how to identify emails. Your email address always contains 3 major things. Number one, the mailbox, the sender mail. Are we together now? The mailbox. You see, an email works just like your post office. When you go to your post office, everybody has a box. So you see people, you see places, organizations that use, okay, PO Box 85, PO Box 88, PO Box 32, PO Box 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this PO Box, they are allocated boxes for each person or each organization. So on your email, when you have arinze@gmail.com, that Arinze is your mailbox. It belongs to you. And that is why you will notice that not more than one person can have a particular mailbox. So if you want to open a new email now and you type Arinze, if somebody has used that particular name exactly the way you typed it, they are going to tell you that you can't use it again, because not two persons can have the same mailbox. So that username, we call it username. It can also be your mailbox, is peculiar to you. So you have Arinze. Then that symbol heart. Then you have the hosting domain. Now, hosting domain is a website that hosts the particular mail, just like your post office. You know that in your post office, okay, let me use another example that you can be familiar with. When you go to your bank, all these boxes that are always outside, you know that once you put your luggage inside that box, you lock it up, and that key will be with you till you leave the bank. So for the period of time you are going to be in the banking hall, that particular box will actually belong to you. Now, that box is your mailbox. It is peculiar to you. But you see, the bank that is hosting all the boxes, the particular bank or the building or the post office that is hosting the, all the boxes. That is what we call the hosting domain. So you have something like oluwatosin@gmail.com. Gmail.com is the hosting website or hosting domain. That is the website where my mailbox is residence. That is the website where my mailbox can be found. So I can have oluwatosin@gmail.com and no other person can use that name again, except if they want to go to another office, they want to go to another hosting domain, another website. So they can have oluwatosin@yahoo.com or oluwatosin@hotmail.com. But if it is going to be Gmail, it is one for one person. So why am I explaining these three things to you? So that you will be able to identify what I mean. Now, when you have an unusual sender address, you majorly don't focus on the mailbox. Remember, I have splitted the sending email to three now. I've split into number one, the mailbox, the @ symbol, and the hosting website. Now, you don't have problem. You don't really focus on the mailbox. Anybody can have the mailbox. Yes, should you pay attention to it? Yes, but not really much. Your major concern is on the hosting website. So you are receiving a message supposedly to be coming from Facebook, and then you receive it from customer@paypay.com. Now, PayPay is not the website of Facebook. Any email that Facebook will send to you must be hosted on the website of Facebook. So you can receive something like support@facebook.com. You can receive something like verification depending on the name they use or the username they use to register the mailbox. Are we together now? All right. So unusual sender email. That's the first red flag you look at when you see an email that you are not familiar with, that looks like something fishy, something you are not familiar with, something that doesn't correlate. It doesn't correlate with what the content of the email. That is an email to suspect. All right. Number two is generic greeting. Now, I know this one really may not really catch our attention, but it is one of the red flags we look out for in identify phishing email. Generic greeting, stuff like dear customer. If you are receiving now, if you are patronizing an organization, you are patronizing a developer. Take for example, you are buying something from a particular organization. They have your details. They know few things about you. So a generic greeting is not what you deserve. That is why you will notice that from top organizations or even any organization that is serious, when they are sending a particular email to you, they niche it down to you. That will give you the confidence that, okay, these people know I exist. This is not just a generic email for everybody, because the reason why generic email or generic greeting is one of the red flags to look out for is because the mail is being sent to multiple people at the same time. So, they want to send it to 1,000 people. They cannot be writing each and every one of their names. So they just, just say, dear participant, dear everyone, dear, hello, dear, hello participant, hello candidate, stuff like that. They are generic. They are not specific. So the greeting will be specific if that email is meant for you. So for example, WhatsApp is trying to tell you that somebody is trying to hack your account. WhatsApp is trying to say somebody is trying to hack your account. Then they send an email with dear customer. That is a generic greeting. Now, that is not peculiar to you. So it means that email is fishy. Because if it is meant for you, it's your account they want to hack and they have your details, that is why they are contacting you. It is as easy as mentioning your name, dear Dagbaja, dear Ibrahim, dear Emmanuel, dear Taiwo. They give you something specific. So generic greeting is another red flag to look out for in identifying a phishing email. All right, let's look at number 3. Urgent or threatening language. Urgent or threatening language. Now, this is another red flag to look out for. Urgent or threatening language. What does this mean? When you receive emails like, Your account is about to be hacked, and somebody is trying to log into your account. If you are not the one, click this link now. Now that is a statement of urgency. The reason why this is a red flag is no organization or no firm, no company will put you under duress to take an action. No reasonable company will do that. So when you receive an urgent or threatening language in your email, just know that they don't want you to think. That's the goal. So when they threaten you that, okay, let me give you as an example for those of us that are in Nigeria and you have received this kind of email, oh, so and so is trying to do a giveaway in 50,000, claim your own before it is too late. That's a phishing. In fact, we call it smishing. That is phishing by SMS. Because if you say I want to win this thing, why are you hurrying me up? Is it not? Why are you hurrying me up to come and win a giveaway? So urgency in phishing is to the end that you don't think. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to have the time to reflect, because they know that when you are able to think, you will be able to notice the red flags. So they don't want you to see those things. So when they say click it now, I mean, that urgency will prompt you to click it. And before you know, you're already attacked. So urgent or threatening language, you must look out for that in any email that you receive. All right, let's look at number 4, suspicious links and attachment. As a matter of fact, this is very important. Never trust any attachment. Never. So if you are not expecting an attachment from anybody, nobody will just send you, I mean, no reasonable person, no legitimate person should send you an attachment without a prior notice. For example, if you receive an email that tells you that, okay, the particular file that is attached to this thing is the statement of account for so, and so, and we've never had this discussion that you are going to send me this kind of thing before. So why are you sending it? Suspect, I'm saying this to you now as a professional, suspect every attachment in an email, except if it's something that happens all the time, like, your bank statement. You know that your bank will send you, they will definitely send you your bank statement every month. That's a monthly thing. But a suspicious attachment or any link that you are, you see, links that you don't even have reason, they don't have reasons to be there. And don't be fooled. Don't think that it is only link and attachment. Some of them have wisened, they have grown now, and they now use buttons. They convert that link to button so that you can trust it more. You must suspect every of these things. I'm going to show you how to mitigate phishing. So you see how to address this issue when you have it. All right, so suspicious links and attachment are things to look out for in every email. All right, number 5, poor grammar and spelling, grammatical errors. This is one of the major red flags you must look out for. Grammatical error. And these errors are usually very, very non-conspicuous. If you are not paying very good attention to it, you most likely will not notice it. So, for example, you may have somebody may be typing to you, dear participants, we are glad to inform you that you have won a giveaway, and that giveaway, the spelling they are giving you is GIVEAWAS. Now, why is there usually a poor grammar or grammatical error in a phishing email? It's because that email was typed in a rush. It was typed in a hurry. Yes, it was typed in a hurry. So poor grammar and spelling are things you should look out for in any phishing or any email. Now, take note, this doesn't mean that every phishing email will contain a grammatical error. Let me make that disclaimer. It doesn't mean that every email or every phishing email will contain a grammatical error, but it's one of the red flags you must look out for. All right, moving on, let's look at number 6, request for personal and financial information. Of course, this is something you must pay attention to. Request for personal and financial information. So when you see when you see an email asking for your login, asking for your password, asking for you to send a particular information that is peculiar to you, suspect that email. I don't know how many of you that have received this kind of email from your bank. They will tell you none of our staff will request for your personal information. None of our staff will request for your login details. Now, this is a disclaimer to make you know that Any email you receive that is asking for any of these personal things is a phishing email. Whatever email you receive asking for your password, asking for your personal information, private identifiable information, all those information that should be peculiar to you. In fact, for example, now, if you receive an email that says Facebook and then everything looks fine, then it's requesting that kindly send us your password. Just suspect, just forget it. That is a phishing email because Facebook will not request for that. At most, they'll give you a button. They tell you that, okay, click this button to protect, or in fact, most time they tell you, contact us if you are not the one making these changes. Those are the words that a legitimate organization will use. So, request for personal and financial information is another thing you should look out for. Then the next one is mismatched URL. That was what I was explaining earlier. Mismatched URL. You are receiving email from PayPal, but the content of the email is talking about Twitter. You saw that the email address I sent you is support@paypal.com. Then they are talking about Twitter. It doesn't correlate. So when there is a mismatch in the URL, or when you check the attached link, and it is taking you to another website that is different from the hosting website that you saw on the email, suspect it. It's most likely going to be a phishing email. Are we together now? All right. So let's have number 8. Unexpected email from trusted sources. Yes. Unexpected emails from trusted sources. Unexpected email from trusted sources. What I mean is that you are receiving an email from somewhere you are not expecting email from. You should suspect it. Oh, am I saying it is always a phishing mail? No, but I'm saying you should suspect it. Because, for example, if you receive from your bank now, you receive an email, and then what the content of the email is, there's going to be a close down or a closure or whatever it is that they call it for about 5 days of from your bank. And they now tell you, okay, that is an information. They now tell you, for you to be able to do something, click this link, because those 5 days you will not be able to reach or suspect it. That's likely going to be a phishing email. All right. So number 9, fake logos and branding. Yes, fake logos and branding. Fake logos and branding. What does that mean? When you are receiving an email, this is why logos of organizations are very, very unique. They are very, very unique, and they always trademark them. So when you receive an email from a particular organization and the logo you are looking at is different from the logo that is registered or that you are familiar with, suspect it. When the branding or the logo is not correlating with the one you used to know, suspect it. All right. Then finally, offers that are too good to be true. Like the one I did yesterday. Offers that are too good to be true. These are offers like the one I did yesterday now, that I demonstrated for you how to make $1,000 every hour. If that is possible, the person that is making it will not post it online. Are we together now? Anything too good to be true, you should suspect it. Anything. And it's not even it is not just applicable to emails alone. Everywhere, every area, don't go for free things. Can I tell you this? Most free things are dangerous. Okay, let me give you as an example. Let's say, for example, those people that use what's the name of this WhatsApp now? GB WhatsApp. Now, GB WhatsApp will give you a lot of features, a whole lot of features. But do you know that that's a cracked version of WhatsApp, and it has a lot of vulnerabilities? Yes. In fact, it is why many people lose their WhatsApp account, GB WhatsApp, because it is just it's a WhatsApp that was developed as a result of a crack. It's a WhatsApp that was developed as a result of an attack on the main website, the main WhatsApp. So using GB WhatsApp, your WhatsApp, I know we have about 4 or 5 versions of WhatsApp now that people use. Using all those fake versions is exposing you to a lot of attack. So when the offers are too good to be true, you should suspect it. You should suspect it. Going for, as a security professional, for those of us that will be putting in for the training or that will be learning it, we must know that as a professional, there's nothing free in free time. Nothing free in free time. Nothing free in free time. Yes. Nothing free in free time. All right. Moving on. Mitigation strategies for phishing. What are the things we can do to ensure that we are not attacked or we are not victims of phishing attack? All right, number one, verify sender identity. Verify sender identity. How do you do this? These are part of the things you will learn as a security professional. We teach these things, how to verify sender identity. Number two, before you click any link, I taught you this yesterday. Before you click any link, over on it. Because when you over on it, you will have a preview of that link. So when you are over on it and you have a preview and you see that the URL is not correlating with what you have on the hosting website for the email, then it's something to suspect. And don't just click it. Before you click it, right click on it, copy it, go and analyze it. Analyze that link. It is very, very important. Number three, use multi-factor authentication. The reason why you are using multi-factor authentication is because even when you have been compromised because you have clicked a link or because you have downloaded an attachment, if you have multi-factor authentication, you still have another layer of security. So to a point, to a level, you are still safe. To a level, you are still safe. But if you don't have multi-factor authentication, now when we mean multi-factor authentication, what do we mean? Like your two-step verification that you have on your social media accounts, which you should have. Everybody should have it. All your social media accounts, you must have two-step verification switched on. If you don't have it, go and do it tonight. All your social media accounts, your email address, your emails, everything that has the facility of two-step verification, go and put it on. This will give you a layer of security even when you are mistakenly compromised. So use multi-factor authentication. All right. Number four, report phishing emails. Yes, report phishing email. There are platforms to do that. And then you can also do that with your Google allows you to report any email that you suspect to be a phishing email. So always ensure that you report them. Immediately you confirm that they are phishing email, because when you report them, you help the world, so that domain, that email address will be flagged. So any email coming from it will go to people's spam folder. That is the essence of reporting. Then number five, we have keep security software updated. If you are using any security software like your antivirus, that's the most common one. If you are using antivirus, you are using anti-malware, keep them updated. Keep them updated. Keep them updated. All right. So before we proceed to best password policies, do we have any questions on phishing? Any question on phishing?
No question from here.
I don't think no question for now.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. Best password policies. Best password policies. Now, one thing that is very, very important for you to know about password is that password is one of your first layer security. Everything about you has a password, as long as it's digital. Your phone has a password, your laptop has a password, your email has a password, all your social media account has a password, your smart TVs have a password, even your Netflix account has a password. So password is like the most common security technique or security measure that we put in place. Now, password can be compromised. And one of the major attack on password is brute force attack. Brute force attack. Brute force attack. Brute force attack is, trying multiple password till you are able to get the correct one. Trying multiple password till you're able to get the correct one. Now, that may sound like something bogus. That may sound like something impossible, that, let them keep trying. They won't get it. Don't ever think like that, because there are tools for that. And one of the major tools we use for brute force is John the Ripper. John the Ripper. Now, this brute forcing softwares or tools, they have the capacity or ability to guess multiple passwords at the same time. I'm going to practicalize one for you. So they can get multiple passwords at the same time. So if your password is weak, because when your password is weak, the way password works is that when you create a password, there is always an hash value for it. There's always an hash value, something we call hash value. So meaning that that hash value is the encoded format of the password. The encoded format of the password. Now, that password is already encoded, but when it is brute forced, what they do is that they try to match the multiple options they have to the hash that they have access to, because the hash will be available. They can have access to the hash. You may not understand that because until you put in for the course, you will not really, because the hashing and encryption is a whole topic on its own. Hashing and encryption. But let me give you something that you can relate with. When you type your password on some platform, you see that as you are typing the password, that thing is changing to star or is changing to a black dot. All right, that is what we call hashing. It's encoding. Yes, hashing is deeper than that, but that is what I can just use to explain to you. So what they do is that the hash value will be available. The hash value is always available, just like those dot that you see. Anybody can see it, but they can't see the character that was converted to that. Now, when they want to brute force, when attackers want to brute force, what they do is that there are tools. There are a lot of tools they can use for it. I already gave you one, John the Ripper. There are many more. So when they want to brute force, they take the tool. The tool can, permutate, use permutation and combination to guess as many as possible password at a time. Now, when they get this multiple password, they throw it into the tool, and then from this tool, the tool will begin to compare this multiple password to your hash value. Now, when there is a match, once the hash value and one password match, they know that that's the password, so they use it against you. This is why you need best password policies. Number one, use at least 12 to 16 characters. At least 12. At least 12. All right. The reason why you have to use at least 12 characters is because permutation and combination of larger number is always more difficult, or larger characters. Imagine you are using a password that is just 4 digits. To 4 digits, the combination required to guess all the 4 digits that we have, maybe about 1,000 trials. And that can be done in a twinkle of an eye using some tools. So if it is just 4 characters, you need just 1,000 permutation. 1,000 combinations. So 1,000 combination, 1 out of 1 to 1,000 will give you the password. And if you are very good with the use of your tool, you'll be able to guess it. This is why using 12, at least minimum of 12 character is very, very important. Now, number 2 is include. Now, when you're using 12 character, include uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols. Uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols. Very, very important. Uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbol. Now, they don't need to necessarily follow each other. Anyone can be at the front, anyone can be at the middle, anyone can be at the back. Just ensure that your password, you see, what this does is that it makes the password a bit more complicated to be guessed or to be brute forced. So ensure that these things are put to note in your password setting. Number 3, avoid dictionary word. Avoid dictionary word and avoid suggestive words. So any word on the dictionary should never be your password. For example, if you are in a company or we are in a group of 1,000 people, who are not technically inclined, take note of that word. A group of 1,000 people who are not technically inclined, and they ask me as a security professional to guess their password, at least 5 of them will use password 1234 as their password. Did you see that? Password 1234 as their password. For some of them, they use their name and their date of birth as their password. Their name and their date of birth. So for somebody that bears Gabriel, uses Gabriel 1980 as the password. Some people use my name or my password as their password. Any suggestive word or any dictionary word should never be on your password. Now, what do I mean by suggestive word? Something that people can suggest, something that people can think of, something that anybody can just think about should not be on your password list. It should not be on your password list. And another thing is anything that has to do with your username or any information that is publicly available about you should never be your password. So if your full name, your date of birth, your phone number, your email, all those things that are publicly available, they should never be your password. Your password should be something that only you can think of. Only you. It should not be in the dictionary. It should not be anything that has to do with you. It should not, at all. All right. Number 4, use unique password for each account. This is one of the major problems we are facing. People, because they don't want to forget their password, they use the same password for all their social media accounts. I am sorry. If you are doing that, you are running a risk. The reason is that if one of them is compromised, all of them is compromised. If one of them is compromised, all of them. Because, for example, you are using password 123 as your password. And one way or the other, your password on Facebook was exposed, one way or the other. Maybe by mistake, by social engineering, by phishing, whatever way. It means that if they try that password on your Twitter account, it will go. If they try it on your YouTube account, it will go. If they try it on your Instagram account, it will go. That is not the best way to go. Because if you do it, you are putting yourself at risk. You are putting yourself in a compromising situation. So it means that all they just need to do is get one of your passwords. They know all. Always use unique password for each account. Then number 5, enable multi-factor authentication. I have said that before to you. Enable multi-factor authentication. Enable multi-factor authentication for every of your accounts. Every of your accounts. All right. So let's look at this example on the screen. Weak password and strong password. Can you see? In fact, the weak password is password 123. It's just the most common password. Now look at the strong password, look at the weak password. Now somebody will be asking, well, I will be forgetting all these things. That is why you have a password manager. Use your password manager. Yes. In fact, if you are using, most of your devices now have inbuilt password manager. I know of iPhone, I know Apple already gave us password manager. So that is why you have password manager. Use your password manager. Don't let your password to be predictable. All right. So you can see the example on the screen. The strong password #9kp $, exclamation 2G R5. All these ones, you can't guess it. No matter how sharp you are, you cannot guess it. And it will be very difficult for any tool to guess this, because most of these tools, they use already compromised password as their own database. So they have a list of passwords that have been compromised all over the world. We call it rainbow table. So from that rainbow table, they know all the passwords that have been compromised. So they begin to try and error. That's brute forcing. Brute forcing is a process of trying and error to get a password. So, but this kind of password, I'm very sure there is every likelihood that nobody has used this password before. Every likelihood. And don't forget, I told you, it must contain capital letter. You can see X, P, then R. Must contain small letter. You can see K, you can see G. Must contain figures 9 and 2 and 5 are here. Then you can see special characters or special symbol, the exclamation mark, the hash, and which other one? The $sign. So that's how to set a strong or weak password. All right, because of our time, do you have any question concerning password? Okay. So I'm assuming there are no questions. All right. Moving forward. So like I said yesterday, the career paths in cyber security. Before we proceed, let's practicalize how password is being cracked. A typical example of password crack. I'll be sharing my screen for us to see. And yeah, a moment, let me launch the stuff. Okay. So we have a list of password. Oh, sorry, let me share my screen. Okay, kindly confirm if you can see the great ash cracker. If you can see the great ash cracker, kindly let me know.
Yes, you can see.
All right, thank you. Now, this is one of, I mean, of course, this is a free tool, and it's just for your for practical purpose. This is your this. Let's say, for example, this is the tool you want to use now. We want to crack this password. We are looking for a particular password. Now, the particular password we are looking for, this is the hash, the target hash. You can see that this is an hash value. This is the hash value of the password, but we don't know the password. This is the hash value of the password, like the encoded format of the password, but we don't know the particular plain text of the password. So we want to look for the plain text, and we want to use this particular tool. You can see the name, the Great Hash Cracker. We want to crack the password. What do? We look for a list of password. That I'm showing you this so that you will see that you will know that you cannot be using generic password. You cannot be using the channel. Anything that can be suggested, anything that can be guessed, you can't use them. Anything that you think somebody might have used before, you can't use them. Because this password list that this is currently requesting for now, they are going to take it from a particular place. There are databases that store already compromised passwords or generally used or most commonly used passwords. So this tool now, we are going to be looking at it. Is requesting for a password list. We have a list of passwords. Now, this is try hack me. You can see the password. They are very, very simple ones. Very, very simple ones. Very, very simple ones. Very, very simple ones. Now, all these ones, they were picked from let's say they were picked from a rainbow table, from a list of compromised passwords. Remember, this is what we are looking for. Look at the target hash now. The target hash, this particular hash value is what we are looking for, the password. But we are using a cracking tool. All right. So we have input the list of password that we think, what we think the password can be. What we think the password can be. So we have the list here. Then what we do now is that we will click on go. We'll click on go, and a moment. Okay, yeah. So let's click on go. You can see the way it's running. Password found. Password found. So you can see the password. Try hack me 123 exclamation. Now, what makes it easy for this tool to be able to crack this password is number one, the password is very, very easy to guess. Try hack me 123. Very easy to guess. Number two, it's not meeting up the best practices of password. Now, I want to ask the question, who can tell us what is missing in this? Why do you think this password is weak? This is a weak password. Why do you think the password is weak? Yes, anybody? Yeah, I need somebody to bail us out. Why do you think this password is weak?
It's common and it looks straightforward.
Look straightforward. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So something like, so if they had switched it to something like me try hack, or they write me one try to hack me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Changing the wordings and now adding some other symbols inside it. Instead of A, they use at. Do you
Okay.
understand? Instead of they used to, switching it up to like something like that, it will be harder for anybody to just easily guess that that's what they're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Now, considering the best practices of password that I just explained, you see that number one, this particular word is suggestive because the name of the platform is TryHackMe and the password is TryHackMe123. That's very, very suggestive. Number two is that the password looks too straightforward, like you said, look too straightforward. TryHackMe123. It could have been something like TR231YCKH. You know, you can just make it a bit more complicated. So this is what you should learn as individuals and as security professionals. For those of us that will be taking up this role or taking up this course, that password should not be something that can easily be guessed. Something that can easily be guessed. All right. So moving forward, let's go back to our class so that we can complete the stuff. Okay. All right. So, like I said yesterday, there are multiple career paths in cybersecurity. In fact, on this particular PowerPoint, I think I have about 30. Let's see. Yes, I have about 30. About 30. But I'm not going to be mentioning. Yes, of course, I will run through them. But let's explain. I will explain about a few of them. Then I will run through the rest. So, to become a cybersecurity professional, you don't necessarily need to become a penetration tester, which is the most common role. You don't need to become an ethical hacker. So what are the other roles that you can become and what do they do? Number one, you can become a security analyst. A security analyst. What do they do? They monitor security threat. And you see their role, it's not really complicated. Why? It's because most of the things they want to monitor, there are tools that are helping them out. We call those tools SIM tools. So you have your SIM tool, and your SIM tool will always be keeping track of everything that is happening in your network. And when there is something wrong, when there's an anomaly, it will give you a signal. There will be an alert. We have false positive alert, false negative, true positive, true negative. These are things you will learn more about later. But it will give you an alert. And from that alert, you will know, okay, you begin to analyze, you begin to investigate. So security analysts, what they do is that they monitor security threats and they investigate. All right. Number two, penetration tester. These are the ethical hackers. I think I explained them yesterday. They are ethical hackers. They test for vulnerabilities. Every organization will, what's it called now? Every organization will need a penetration tester to test their product. So you want to launch a software, they help you test it. What they are doing is that attack us before we are attacked. That's their role. So they are the attacker before attacker. But the difference between them and the real attackers is that they are doing it ethically. They are doing it ethically, so they don't exploit vulnerabilities. When they discover vulnerabilities, they write a report and send to the organization so that those vulnerabilities can be curbed. So what is vulnerability? Because I've been mentioning it, vulnerability is any loophole or any weakness that can be exploited by an attacker. Vulnerability is any loophole or weakness that can be exploited by an attacker. So penetration testers, they look for these vulnerabilities, they help you to attack. Are we together now? They help you to attack, to be able to find, okay, is there a problem with this website? Is there a problem with this application? Is there a problem with this? Then from there, they help you to, they move ahead to write a report, they generate a report for you so that you know that, okay, this is where the problem is. Let us curb it before we launch our product, or let us curb it so that we can send out an update. When you receive an update from your vendors, for those of you that are using Apple, when you receive a new version of iOS, when you receive a new version of your Android software, whatever software you are using, when you receive a new version, you will notice that if you read the description, you will see that it will tell you new security patch. That is to tell you that a vulnerability has been discovered and it has been patched. It has been corrected. It has been blocked from exploit. So those are penetration testers. Number 3, SOC analyst. SOC analyst. What is the full meaning of SOC? Security Operations Center. Security Operation Center. Their role and the role of security analyst want to look the same, but then it's different because security analyst is just like a general analyst, while SOC analyst, they work in a security operations center. And what they do is that they detect and they respond to threats. So when there's a problem with the network, when there's an attack, when there is this, they are the first line of defense. They respond. They detect it, they respond it. All right, number 4, we have incident responder. What they do is that they handle security breaches. They handle security breaches. When there is a breach, they are the one that respond to it. They don't have business with analyzing. They don't have business with detecting. What they do is that they respond. How do we respond? And then there's always a response plan, incident response plan that every organization uses. All right, number 5, we have malware analyst. From their name, they analyze malware behavior. They study malware behavior. So when there is a malware, their own is not a general analysis. Their focus is on malware. Their focus is on malware. Number 6, cybersecurity consultants. They advise organization on what are the best security architecture to use, what's the best approach, how do we train our employee, what are the things we need to put in place for us to stay cyber secure. Those are their roles. Cybersecurity consultant. Number 7, digital forensic analyst. These guys, they are deep guys, deep guys. They are very technically inclined individuals. Why? It's because they investigate cyber crimes and not just surface investigation, in-depth investigation. In-depth investigation. Their role is very important when we are trying to crack any cyber crime that is difficult to crack. Now, for example, when there is a cyber crime, when there's an attack, and then you are trying to get information from your hard disk, and that hard disk is broken already, or it's already damaged, a security analyst does not know how to go about that. An incident responder may not know how to do that. But you see, digital forensic analysts, from the word forensic, they are good at deep investigation. They can rearrange your SIM. After it has been broken, they can rearrange it back and still pick information from it. They can rearrange your printer after you have broken it. They rearrange it and they get all the things that you have printed on it if it's a digital printer. So their role is very deep, digital forensic analyst. Number 8, we have security engineer. Security engineer, they design security solutions. They design security solutions. All these biometric, your face scanner, your fingerprint, all the security facilities that you have, physical facilities now, is the work of security engineer. They are engineer. They build. That's their own role. Okay, we have cryptographer. Cryptographer in every. All right. Sorry, I think I went off. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. That was a network glitch. So cryptographers, they develop encryption methods. So encryption being the conversion of plain text to ciphertext using keys so that it will be unreadable. All right, so the cryptographer, they are the one that develop the various encryption method that we use as security professional or as individual or whatever it is that we are. So the next one is security architect. Security architect. Okay, let me give you the description for you for better understanding. When you are building a house, an architect is the one that designs, that draws the plan. An engineer is the one that draws the building of what you have drawn, of the plan you have drawn. So security architects are the people that they build the plan of what the security system of an organization will look like. They build the plan. They are not, their hands are not usually dirty. And when I mean dirty, I mean they don't do the groundwork. They do the paperwork, they do the drawing, they do, okay, this is, here we should have firewall, here we should have encryption, every data coming here, let's use password, let's use this kind of, so they determine how the structure of the security architecture of the system of the organization would be. Security engineer are the one that will implement that plan. So they will implement that plan. All right. Then we have threat intelligence analyst. Threat intelligence analyst. What they do is that they analyze threat data. So any data that is gathered from a threat, they analyze it one after the other. Where is this attack coming from? Why is it? Why are we being attacked? What are the tools they are using? What are the attack surface, attack vector? They analyze all those things. Then we have governance, risk, and compliance analysts. These guys, now, these are one of the guys that they don't need technicality. They don't need technicality at all, because what they do is that compliance, governance, risk, they are about rules and regulation, how we comply with various regulations, with various frameworks, how we operate those various frameworks. All right. So this is their role. Okay. Let's look at about 3 more before we rush through the rest. Cloud security engineer, of course, they have to do with the security of the cloud. Yes, most of our digital stuffs are now on cloud. We have iCloud, we have Google Cloud, we have AWS, we have Azure, Microsoft Azure. So how those cloud facilities are being secured is a responsibility of cloud security engineer. Then number 14, application security engineer. These ones, they have to do with applications, application security. That's their own role, application security. Then we have network security engineer. These are guys that, like, I think somebody was mentioning being a network administrator yesterday. This is a very good career path you can choose, network security engineer. So their own security knowledge or whatever it is that skill is about securing a network. Application security engineer are to secure an application. So those are the various career paths in cybersecurity. Let's rush through the remaining 15. We have the DevSecOps engineer. We have the identity and access management engineer, cybersecurity auditor, security researcher. A very great career path, security researcher. For those of us that are academics, maybe you're a master's holder, you already know your PhD, or you want to put in for your PhD. Security researcher is a very great field you can dive into. Industrial control system security, cyber policy analysis, security awareness trainer, like what I am doing now. This bootcamp, being a facilitator, is another career path. You can choose to be a teacher. Yes, you can go online and Google it. How much does cybersecurity instructors make? You see that they make a whole lot, a ton of money. All right, risk analyst, red team operator, blue team defender, cybersecurity instructor, of course, privacy consultant, mobile security expert, IoT security, especially that is Internet of Things, cybersecurity project manager. So these are the various career paths. We have up to 50. In fact, we have more than 50. I only curated this 30 for our understanding. All right. So let's look at the certifications in cybersecurity that you may want to give attention to. Number 1, the CompTIA Security Plus is a very, very important cybersecurity certification. And then we have the Certified Cybersecurity by IS2. ISC2, Certified Cybersecurity. Number 2, we have Certified Ethical Hackers. This is for penetration testers, majorly for penetration testers. CompTIA Security Plus, yes, it's an entry-level certification. Then we have the CISS. All right, so we have the CISSP, which is a top professional examination. You cannot take this certification if you have not spent 5 years actively in this field, in this industry. There must be a proof that you spent 5 years before you can write CISSP. That is a prerequisite. It's a prerequisite, but it's one of the top certification in cyber security. Then we have the GIAC, we have the OSCP, then we have the CCSP. Now, the career path you are choosing will determine what certification you are going to be needing. You don't have to have all these certification. No, you can't write all of them. Depends on your career path. And that is why I said don't discourage yourself. Don't discourage yourself at all. Whatever career path you are choosing, you will be guided. That is why mentorship always happen at them. At the academy, will create a space for you to be mentored so that you know, okay, what career path am I going to choose? What are the certifications I need? How do I navigate my career? All right. So that is that about the certification. So finally, for today, we are going to look at how to stay digitally safe. How to stay digitally safe as a newbie, as an individual, as somebody that is not even technically inclined at all. What are the major things to put attention on? Number one, keep software updated. An outdated software is the attacker's workshop. An outdated software is the attacker's workshop because every update is most likely going to be because a vulnerability has been discovered and has been patched. So if you don't patch, if you don't have that updated software, that patch will not be applicable to you. So the vulnerability discovered will still expose you to an attack. For example, I think the Equifax data breach, one of the top cyber attack that has happened in the world, was as a result of outdated software. So keep your software updated. Always keep your software updated. It is very important. Organizations or vendors, they don't just roll out updates because they don't have anything to do. No, they roll out updates because there are bugs that have been discovered. There are vulnerabilities that have been discovered. Number two, avoid public Wi-Fi for sensitive transactions. Don't jump on every Wi-Fi. Avoid public Wi-Fi. Airport, hospital, and hotel, every public Wi-Fi, avoid them. Avoid them. Avoid them because attackers understand the fact that people love free things. So they plan. So you can go to the airport and you see Wi-Fi 1, Wi-Fi 2, Wi-Fi 3, or airport 1, airport Wi-Fi 2, airport Wi-Fi 3, and only two among those things belong to the airport. One will belong to the attacker. They will just rename it to airport Wi-Fi. And once you connect to it, they can steal your data. So avoid public Wi-Fi. Number three, use strong, unique passwords. Use strong, unique password. Very, very important. Don't just use generic password and all. Then number four, which is the last one, enable multi-factor everywhere. Enable multi-factor authentication everywhere. Take note of this. Anybody can be breached. But when you are breached and you have multi-factor authentication, you are still safe because before the final attack will be launched on you, you would have recovered your password that has been breached. All right, so that is that about that. And I believe this is where we are going to be bringing it to a close today. All right, any question, please?
Yes, I wanted to ask something.
You wanted to ask what? Sorry.
Yes. The DevOps, is it for 5 months as well?
The DevOps.
DevOps.
Do you mean the? I want to be sure. Do you mean the DevOps security or DevOps as a course?
Cybersecurity as a course itself.
Okay, cybersecurity, the DevOps security as a course, right?
Yes.
All right, so this is how it works. This course you are taking it's just like the course to introduce you or to bring you into the industry. When you now get into the industry, you can navigate this various. Okay, take me as an example now. This was the kind of course I did as a professional too, although I have technical background, undergraduate and postgraduate. So this was the course I did. And when I did the course, after finishing the course, I took up internship. After the internship, then I was able to decide, okay, after the internship, I feel like I can do security analyst now. Because after this course, definitely you must be able to be a security analyst, because security analyst is an entry level role. Malware analyst, security analyst, all those analyst job, they are entry level role. So after I became a security analyst, I did security analyst for about 5 months. And I decided, okay, I want to become an ethical hacker now. So I just took about 2 months, no, 1 month. I took 1 month and a half course, self-paced now, not something I had to go to any school, self-paced. 1 month and 1.5 months, I became an ethical hacker. I began to hack, and I did that for about 8 months. And I said, okay, I'm not cut out for this. I don't want to do this again. So I became a consultant and an instructor, and which is what I'm currently doing now, a security consultant and a security instructor. What I'm telling you is that after you have done this course, you'll be able to make your decision. You can navigate to any part of cybersecurity. All you just need is that it's just like a top up. You just, okay, I want to become an ethical hacker today. Let me just top up 1 month, and then I study. It can even be YouTube videos. Every fundamental information, every fundamental knowledge you need to gain, you would have been taught in this course. So I hope that is clear. So for this course, it is 5 months, 5 month course for cybersecurity. I hope that is clear.
So basically, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you properly.
Okay, so basically, this should be the course is introduction to cybersecurity, right?
Okay, yeah. I don't want to use the word introduction, because you are going to be doing more than introduction. I mean, if you are taught encryption, how to encrypt, if you are taught how to hash a password, yes,
Yeah,
how to crack.
because introduction, I did because why I'm asking, because I was thinking when I waited for today so that I'll see the courses and the answers. Because I
Okay.
did with Cisco, I did introduction to cybersecurity and all on
Okay.
Cisco, which I have my certificate already.
Okay, on Cisco.
Now
Okay,
I
I'm
was
aware of that.
thinking I'll go further on. Yes, I'm thinking if I can get something different, like what's it called, ethical hacking or DevOps.
All right. Yes.
That
So
was
this is it.
where I was
If you are going
thinking.
to do that, because if you are going to niche it down to ethical hacking alone, for example, so it means that every other person that want to become a security consultant, or those that want to become a GRC analyst, we may not be able to touch it. We may not be able to touch their own path or their own career path if you are niching it down to ethical hacking. So this is why we make it broad. Our curriculum, how I wish they can share with you, it contains everything. Oh, for ethical hacking, for security analyst, for malware analyst, everything. Our curriculum covers all. But what I'm telling you is that this is a progressive industry where you cannot rely on the information. As I am an instructor, I instruct in multiple places. I am telling you emphatically that I still learn, because it's a progressive field, you get. So if you really want to go deep into it, I know of the Cisco introduction to cybersecurity, but that is not what we are offering you. I'm sure. I mean, I can tell you that that's not what we are offering you. We are offering you something deeper than that, because I also took that course, that particular Cisco course. I took it. I took about I think about 12 courses on Cisco. Yeah, alone before I enrolled for this.
Okay, that's fine.
One.
That's fine, sir.
All
So,
right.
but okay. So, but we are getting all the curriculum from you guys, right?
Sorry, please. Can you come again? I'm finding it difficult to hear you properly.
No, my network, I don't know, is really. I said, we are getting the curriculums from you guys, right? We are getting the breakdown of everything.
Yes, I mean, I think that would come after you. That will come out if you want to register or after registration. I don't know I can't even remember the policy now surrounding that. But you can ask that question in the group. You can just drop that question in the group so that the admin will attend to that. There's a policy surrounding that. I don't want to give you wrong information now.
No problem, sir. No
All
problem.
right. Thank
Thank you, sir.
thank you very much. Yes. Any other question, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Augustine. I can hear you properly.
Okay, now my question is, after this course, let's go. Let me use like, okay, we go to school now. We can come out with, like, what are we coming out as? And if we are to use what we've the training we are getting from this platform, what are we like? I want to use it to get a job. What are we to enroll, or what are we going to? What job out should we search using this training? Like after
Okay,
this
yeah.
5 months, now we'll go to Indeed or any job search platform, what particular, what streamline are we going to apply? We are applying as a cybersecurity on what? Because now, from what I've
All right,
understood,
thank you.
cybersecurity
Yeah.
is like a umbrella covering
Yes.
other companies under. So what are we applying as?
Thank you. I mean, now there's something we call the career ladder. Now, career ladder in cybersecurity implies that you must start from somewhere. Now, that place you are starting from is what we are dealing with. And these are the places where you start from. A security analyst, ethical hacking, malware analyst, SOC. I'm already listing the things you can apply for, depending on the one you want to go for. Security analyst, malware analyst, ethical hacker, vulnerability tester. In fact, a very great career path. Vulnerability tester, bug hunter, then network security analyst, GRC analyst. Now, all those analyst work, you can apply for them, depending on which one. Now, before the end of the course, you definitely will know which one interests you, because you see, cybersecurity, you must have passion for what you're. For example, look at the work I'm doing now. If you don't have passion for training, if you don't have passion for teaching people, you cannot be doing what I'm doing now. You get? So you must know what you have passion for. What are your soft skills? What are the things you know how to do before enrolling for this course? Then after the course, during the course of the course, you are going to discover, okay, this is what I think I love the analysis stuff. Because as we are teaching you, you begin to see, okay, this is my area of strength, this is my area of weakness. So when you know your area of strength, you go for it. Okay, oh, I think I have interest in networking. So you begin to dive into that. You begin to dive into that. And gradually, immediately after the course, you finish your 5 months, you can apply for a network security analyst. It's an entry. It is called entry role. Most of the things you will still do, you will still learn on the job. It's just like somebody taking up a job in a bank. Even though you study banking and finance in school, there are many. They will give you training, because cybersecurity is not a one fit for all. I don't know if that is clear. It's not a one fit for all organization now. No. What this organization will require, we learn from this one, but we will give you a training that anywhere you enter, you can fit in. That's our own goal. But for a start, you can take up all the entry level roles, which of course you are going to be exposed to during the course of the training. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. So, do we have any other person before we call it a night?
I have a question. So,
All right.
as my question was, as you were saying something, I actually got to know something now. Is there like a career path on like a application tester based on like under cybersecurity, like an application tester, like a beta tester under cybersecurity?
Yes. You see, like I was saying earlier, cybersecurity is very broad. Now, you can be a pen tester, and the only thing you want to be testing is mobile application. In fact, I have a lady, Mayowa. Mayowa is currently working with me. She's only based on mobile application testing. Anything web, she doesn't have anything to do with that. Anything network, she doesn't care. When it is mobile, we call her. So every one of us that knows her, we already have that idea that, okay, Mayowa is a mobile application tester. All she does is test mobile application. There are people that are web application tester. Some people, they are website tester. It can spread. You can niche it down to yourself. So there are mobile testers. Yes, mobile application testers. They exist. They exist in cybersecurity. They exist. All right.
Thank you.
Yes. So let's have one more. If you can get one more question, please. All right. So I'm of the assumption that we do not have any other question. Okay. Thank you for joining, everyone, and it has been a very, very great time with you these 2 days, and I hope that you have gained a lot, and then I hope that I'm going to be seeing every one of you becoming security professionals, because we really need you guys. We need every one of you. We need all hands on deck. Some of us we are doing a lot at the same time. So we need people to relieve us. So I'll be expecting each and every one of us. And I'm of the opinion that you are not going to regret your patronage, because it is actually one way or the other a patronage. All right. So thank you, everyone. See you some other time. Have a blessed night.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.